to lose weight, and they don't make it past a week. So if that objective was enough, it would work, and it doesn't, so it's not enough, all right? So just let's assume that's there, and then throw it out. Okay, last week we talked about the mindset and principles of successful tracking. We gave a few points with that. And also we talked about the 8 powerful effects of tracking, and this week we are now going to talk about the desired outcome of tracking. What is the desired outcome of tracking? Now, hopefully I'm going to make you think of this in a way that you haven't really thought about it before. But first, as I said, you should have a good reason for tracking calories. My advice, don't just track calories for the sake of tracking it. Like, you can, I guess, but like, it's not going to be that useful. Have a reason. And the reasons need to be important to you. Like, to you. It doesn't matter if they're important to somebody else. Like, who cares? I'm reminded of when Candace, when we first met, I was running a lot, and she's like, do you want me to get into running? And I said, good heavens, no, I don't want you to do this for me. This is way too damn hard. When you're out there at mile 9 cursing everything in life that has led you to this moment, I don't want to be on that list. No, you do this for yourself. And you know what? She ended up doing it that way. And I run for myself. If you're going to do something really hard, do it for you. Okay? I know you might be like, I'm going to do it for my kids. No, lose weight for your kids. Track calories for you. It needs to be important to you. It is way too annoying. You're going to be doing it all the time. You're going to be doing it every day. You're going to be doing it what feels like for damn ever. And then when you start doing it and you start getting results, you're really going to feel like you do it for damn ever because you're going to be too terrified to stop. And then some of you are going to have this one-on-one conversation with me, or I'm going to say, I think it's time to stop tracking calories. And you're going to be like, what? No, I'm not going to do that. And you're going to wonder how you found yourself there when 6 months prior, you hated the idea of maybe tracking calories. I'm telling you, when you get into this, it'll change you. It'll change you when you get into tracking calories, but only if the reasons are important to you. All right? And look, there's not a universal answer here. Trust me, I've looked. I've been looking. And if you know of it, please send me a message and let me know. I'm going to pay you some money, and then I'm going to go make a bunch more money with it. Because there ain't no universal answer here. There's not. You got to find the ones that matter to you. Carrie, the ideas that you're using got to matter to you. Lisa, the ones that matter, they got to matter to you. Todd, they got to matter to you. Liz, they got to matter to you. Mona, they got to matter to you. It's got to matter to you, not to anybody else. It won't work. Now, remember this. Tracking calories is not a diet. It's not a diet. That's like saying keeping score is the same as playing baseball. No, the scorekeeper is not playing baseball. No, the scorekeeper is not playing football. All tracking calories is keeping score so that you can use the score to make decisions on how you should play the game. It would be really hard to play a game without knowing the score because you don't know when can you back off? Who do you need to change out? You need to have a score so that you can keep up with it. That's all tracking is. It's not a diet. It's not a diet. It's not a diet. Tracking calories is not a diet. It's not a diet. It's just keeping score. That's it. So stop saying, oh, I didn't track my calories, so I threw my whole diet out the window. No, you stopped keeping score. That's all you're doing is keeping score. So now as I'm getting though, there's the desired outcome of tracking. And I did just say there is no universal answer here, but I do believe that there is an ultimate desired outcome. I do believe there's an ultimate answer. And I believe my ultimate answer will encompass all of your answers because I love to take an idea and boil it down to its most basic, to its first principles, the simplest concept. I can wrap my head around that a lot easier. And in this case, the ultimate desired outcome of tracking is an increase in your awareness. That is the ultimate desired outcome, is an increase in your awareness. Now, we need to be very specific here, though, because this is not enough. This is not precise enough. I want you to have accidental increases in awareness and intentional increases in awareness. I need you to have both. If you're only chasing one of them, you're not getting everything. If you don't track your calories, these won't happen. You won't have accidental increases in awareness if you don't do something that will trigger it. By writing shit down, you are going to learn a ton. A ton. Now, we have quite a few people in here that are already tracking calories. Those of you that have been tracking calories, you've done it in the past, you've done it for a while. What is something that tracking calories taught you, that you learned, that you figured out because you were tracking calories? Go ahead and put it in the chat. And I know I'll give a second in case you need to type up a sentence or two. But what is something that you learned? That mayo sucks. Yeah, mayo's a lot of calories. The impact of drinking and cheese. Right? Gosh, those two, a lot of calories. I eat too much butter. What food helps me feel full? Olive oil spray is my friend. I don't eat enough protein. Nuts have a lot of calories by the handful. That be the truth, right? I can eat without starving, and protein is amazing. Oh, Ria's a great one. She discovered she was maybe under eating, causing excessive food noise. Peanut butter serving size is a joke, right? Okay, so as you can see, these are things that you learn. Now, what I didn't ask is, were any of these accidental learning? Hello, everyone. Sheree, no, I was not live, but I'm live now. So hi. That was a guild meeting. So hey, for anybody that's thinking about joining the guild, the doors are closed. I don't leave them open all the time, but they are opening in 2 weeks. So if you're thinking about joining the guild and you're thinking about getting some help, head on over to theguildofchampions.com and you can get your name on the wait list. And I'm already emailing the wait list. I'm already coaching you. I mean, look, whether you join the guild or not, you're getting the coaching in the email anyway, and you're only going to get it if you're on the wait list. So if you want to get the coaching via email, and if you want to have an opportunity to join the guild, you must be on the wait list, or you will not know that it goes live. So you can get on that wait list by heading on over to theguildofchampions.com. Guildofchampions.com. Also, I would like to let you know, where's my buttons? Where's my buttons? Oh, here they are. Hold on. I got to rearrange my buttons. All right. Down here, Chris Terrell Podcast. Just in case you don't know, new episodes drop every Friday, and it's available on your favorite podcasting platform. This last week in the podcast, I talked a little bit about stress and the role that stress plays in our lives. So I want to, I think that's going to be a good episode for everybody. Kim, is it the wait list or wait list? Yeah. I guess I could call it that. That would be kind of funny to lean into that one. All right, everybody. I want to celebrate your wins, your victories, your triumphs, your successes. Tell them to me in the chat. Let's bring us some music here. Tell me about your wins. Tell me what you did well. We're going to leave this party song with a funky bass going for us. But what I want to know is, what did you do? What's that thing you did last week that you did in the name of your weight loss? And I don't care if you did it 300 times. All right? You still get to brag on it. That's the cool part about this. You can brag on it no matter how many times you do it. So what did you do last week in the name of your success? What did you do to get you closer, one more step closer to your journey destination? Think about it. What did you do? Did you say no to some food that you normally would have said yes to? Did you get up off that couch and go for a walk when you know damn well you normally would have kept your butt right there on that couch? What did you do? Oh, we got a big one right here. I remember seeing this one. Hope. I hit Wonderland. What? Wonderland. Oh, I love Wonderland. Wonderland is so fun. Sean, officially out of the newborn trenches. Oh, gosh. And back to having a solid routine, 60 pounds down. Excellent. Trish, Ran 2 miles this weekend. That's pretty awesome. Went to the doctor for a med check. Found out I'm down 35 pounds in 6 months. Congratulations. 35 pounds down, 6 months. That's awesome. Where's my calculator? Want to do math. Where is my calculator? Whatever. I was going to do math. We're not going to do that now. All right. Give me more. Give me more, everybody. What'd you do for the first time? What's a new thing? You don't got to, and you can give me more than one. So I see some of y'all are here. I know you're not sharing them. Share them. Dig in deep. Find that little thing. Give yourself credit for it. Get your pride and your ego out of the way, being like, well, I can't give myself credit for taking 5,000 steps yesterday because I could have taken 7. That's stinking thinking. You get that voice out of your head. Melancholy Green. When are you going to change that name from Melancholy? 12 pounds gone. 11 away from Wonderland. What? That's awesome. All right. What else? We got a few more seconds of the song. We'll do another celebration song here in a little bit. All right. There we go. Song's over. So what I want you to do, I want you to be thinking, what victory can you share? All right, hold on. We got one more. Karen, 50 pounds lost. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right. Oh, y'all are bringing more. You know what? I take it back. Let's bring up some more music. Let's keep the celebrations going. All right, let's go. Let's pick up where we left off. All right. So Karen was saying hit 50 pounds lost. Fantastic. Darren, down 25 pounds from this time last year. Fantastic. Scale finally went down 2.8 pounds. Wonderful. Crystal, non-scale victory, mindset change. Bad things happened, but managed to find the good in each thing. I love it. That's what you're supposed to do. You got to find the good times in the dark times, especially when it doesn't seem like you can find one. Cherie, I've been regularly getting 10,000 steps daily, and I used to be between 7,000 and 9,000 steps. Well, that's a big win. That's a big win indeed. All right, what have we got here? Left food on my plate instead of eating myself miserable. Yes. That's what you're supposed to do. You just stop short, right? We can eat whatever we want. The problem comes in with the volume, right? We just keep going when we need to stop. Ooh, I like this one. Noticing that smaller portions are starting to feel normal. That's a good one. That's changing happening. Karen, I'm walking more and increasing my knee movement. Love that. That's what we're going for. That's what we want to see. All right. We'll go ahead and pause here. We'll do another win one later. Oh, wait, are you sneaking in? I'm not feeling it today. What are you not feeling? Are you not feeling these good vibes? All right, I'm a size 18 for the first time since I was 17. I can finally see my weight loss, and I'm currently getting ready for the gym. Oh, even though I'm not feeling it today. I'm with it now. Fantastic. Hey, you know what, Amanda? No joke. So I got this book from our Philly meetup, Amanda, and I was looking through this with Candace. For those of you that don't know, in the guild we do live meetups, and we offer a photo book for those that went on the adventure. I bring a photographer with me that tags along, and here I'm gonna bring the music down. I bring a photographer with me, and we get photos. But one of my favorite photos, Amanda, was actually one I was just looking at it. Was this right here? Was us there on the top? I absolutely love this moment. It was just so fun. So I saw your screenshot or your profile picture there, but I like that photo of you right there. That's a pretty awesome moment. I know that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling that you did something. You know what? Let's find a few other badass photos from in here. So again, this is from my Philadelphia in the guild. I do these things called adventures, where we challenge your notion of what you can and cannot do. I mean, like, we found ourselves a swampy swamp, and we went through it. Oh, it was so awesome. Everybody's just such a badass for going through it. Like, look how dirty we all were. I mean, that's what it's about. Oh, so fun. So fun going through that adventure. We got a few other badass photos from the day. I like this one of Sean. I think it was Sean, under there with me. I can't remember exactly, but going underneath that wire right there. That was an epic moment. And again, it's great because I go out and I coach you alongside with you. You know, we all will love Block Ness Monster. That's always a crowd pleaser, is this obstacle right here. Just one of the most fun things we can do. And then, of course, Mutterhorn, always a classic, always where people are getting to find their greatness as they do something that totally challenges themselves. And then even for many people, it's that chance to help another person, right? Because there's something about when you get to go up it yourself, but there's another when you finally reach the point where you can help somebody else. But I love for me, that's part of what I love, is that moment of getting to help other people go through the journey. But there we are at the end. So, if anybody is like looking to have some crazy fun adventures, I got 4 guild adventures planned this year. These are for guild members only, so you have to be a guild member to attend. We're in Atlanta. We're doing a Tough Mudder. I'm actually going to Scotland in April. And then we're doing Chicago, where we're going to do a 5K. And then in Las Vegas, we're doing a hike. I really enjoyed the hike from last year in Dallas. So we're going to do it again, but rather than Dallas, we're going to do it in Vegas. Because why not? Vegas will be fun. Yeah, Kim, look how different Bree looks. Oh gosh, look how different so many of y'all look in there. I mean, it's so fun to see everything. Oh, hey, yeah, you were in there. We were just looking at you. Hope is there. Julie's there. Oh yeah, a bunch of y'all are in there. Yeah, it's just such a fun day. So for those of y'all that went, if you didn't get one of these books, you can. So, I mean, Misty's who puts these together, and Candace, it's her photography. And just between the two of them, they just churn out this absolutely incredible book of memories. See, Trish, you're going to Chicago. Oh, I'm glad you're coming. Chicago's going to be great. Chicago's where we did our first meetup ever as a guild. And so we're coming up on this will be our 3rd Chicago event. And Chicago's just turning into just be an absolute blast. We do a 5K every time. So fun. So fun. All right. So here's the thing. You know, at this point in weight loss, you know, a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people start, if they're in the beginning phases, they begin to feel the effects. So I just wanted to talk about that for a moment, that, you know, when the journey gets hard, that's your moment. You know, one of the things I started doing this weight loss journey that I had not done before was I was setting off looking for that time that I always quit. Right? Like you probably got that. You know, if you're a yo-yo dieter like me, you always have this moment when you quit. You know, I remember one weight loss journey on my journey, or in the past. I was doing keto, and I was down like I don't know, 15 pounds. I was doing pretty good with it, right? Because when I was doing keto, I made it easy. I just did chicken wings. I did naked chicken wings for lunch every day, or I just did regular buffalo sauce, right? And I liked it because I could eat as much as I want, right? I could essentially stuff myself still, but, you know, it's all on per diet, of course. Because I wasn't working on my emotional eating. I was just changing food ingredients to lose weight. Wasn't trying to become thin. I wasn't trying to actually change my life. I was just cutting out carbs. And it worked. I said it was 10, 15 pounds down. I remember my shorts were falling off me. I remember that feeling. And I'm in Tampa for a work trip. And I don't remember what happened, but I remember something happened where I ended up not able to get it to my room, or I was behind. I found myself like stuck far away from where I wanted to be, and I was starving. And so I just picked a place, and I, of course, you know, had nothing that fit. Everything was going to be off keto. So I'm like, well, if it's going to be off keto and nothing fits, I might as well have what I want, right? So I got like this lobster mac and cheese, you know, pasta, and carbs and fats. And totally off diet. And I remember doing this, like, it'll be fine. You know what? Just one meal's fine. I'm going to get right back on it after this. Of course, the next day I had an entire calzone to myself. Not like a little calzone, but a big one. Then I'm going and getting Cubanos because I'm in Tampa. The home, I love a Cubano. And so it's just one of the best places to get one. And I just threw my entire diet out the window, telling myself, I'm going to get back to it when I get back. You know what? I've already ruined it. It's too hard to do this keto thing while I'm traveling, especially when I'm using Ubers to get around. I don't have a car. So you know what? I'm just going to get back to it when I get back. Well, we all know how this story ended. Many of you have the same story. Came back, no one was asking. I wasn't bringing it up. And it's not like I was gaining my weight back instantly. So I just didn't get back on it. And then I gained my weight back plus the 10, 15 pounds I lost, plus I kept going. So when I set off to lose weight this last time, I looked to my past and I said, let me identify every single situation that caused me to put my diet on pause and let me not use that this time. Oh, I'm traveling. I got to put my diet on pause. Fine, then don't eat. What? Don't eat, Chris? No. Just wait until you can stick to your plan. Don't quit. Or if you do quit, actually get back to it on Monday. And I started realizing you've got to be on the lookout for your I'm going to quit moment. That moment when you're like, nope. This is when I always quit, and I'm going to quit now. You got to be on the lookout for that. And then not give in. And I called it my moment, is how I started referring to it. Like, life would get hard. It's throwing me the perfect reason to throw my plan out the window. And I would always say to myself, this is my moment. This is my moment right here. This is the one I was looking for. This is the moment where I always quit. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to make it. Let me tell you, if I hadn't have done that, I'd have quit. There were so many of those moments when life threw something at me that I didn't see coming, that I wasn't prepared for, that I didn't expect, that I didn't know how to get through it. And I just said, this is my moment. This is when I figure it out. There was always going to be a first time I figure it out, and this is going to be it. The other thing I had to do that helped me is, in my mind, I said, I will not justify or excuse bad behavior. I'm going to own it. So if I'm going to go off the rails and I'm going to gorge on some food, I'm not going to say I did this because I was stressed. I'm not going to say that. Even though I know that's why, but I'm stressed because I created an environment that allowed me to get stressed. And this was where I pulled a business principle and brought it to my personal life. I remember many times I had a manager, something bad would happen, totally unforeseen. And the manager would say to me, you're the one that created the system that allowed the bad result to occur. You need to create a system where the bad result can't happen. So it's your fault as the system creator. I mean, a tough pill to swallow in a work setting, right? I mean, but you got to realize, like, when you're the system creator, if something goes wrong, it's your fault. Period. End of story. It's your fault. Oh, but I didn't know any better. That's how immature people talk. That's how inexperienced systems managers talk. Oh, I didn't know, so it's not my fault. Don't get mad at me. No, it is your fault. You didn't know any better. You are also held accountable for what you don't know in a work setting. Not everybody can handle that. And that's why a lot of people don't level up, because they're like, you can't hold me accountable for it if I didn't know. Yeah, we can. And yeah, life's gonna. I learned that and I stopped fighting it, and my career did better. Some of y'all, you need to learn that, by the way. Stop getting mad when somebody holds you accountable. Anyway, so I'm looking at my life and I'm just like, I'm the reason why I keep failing, and I'm going to own it. So when I overeat, when I emotionally eat, I'm not going to say something made me do it. I'm not going to come up with a reason like, well, it's understandable that I did it this time because my emotions were real bad. No, my dad died. It's okay that I did it. No. I decided I was never going to say it was okay. I mean, I'm not going to, later I learned I don't have to beat myself up for it. I don't have to like make myself feel like crap, but I don't have to say the behaviors were okay. What's the old phrase? Hate the sin, love the sinner, right? Hate the actions, not the person doing it, right? I can hate what I did, but I don't got to hate me. And I decided to put that into practice on my weight loss journey. And that made a big difference. It really, really helped. And so for some of you right now, just already this part of the year, maybe even just this last week, you've done things that you're not proud that you did. And you now have a choice. What do you do about it? Do you look at it and go, it's no big deal. I'm going to let myself off the hook. But you don't hold yourself accountable. You see, there's a difference between letting yourself off the hook without accountability and letting yourself off the hook while still maintaining accountability. When I thought to myself, like, all right, I'm going to let myself off the hook, but I'm not going to let myself off the hook on accountability. I don't get out of that. There's no getting out of accountability. I, at some point, still got to turn around and go, what did I do or failed to do that created this situation, that created this, that made it happen, that didn't prevent it? Okay, it's fine that this thing got me, but it can't get me again. It cannot get me again. You got to keep your mistakes original because you got plenty to make. There's going to be plenty of original ones to go around. And so, oh yeah, Sean, you just said that right here. My best level ups at work came from constructive criticism. Keep mistakes unique. Correct. Right. You got to keep them original. If you can keep them original, it's not so bad. And so for some of you on your weight loss journey here at this point, you've got to really decide, are you letting yourself out of accountability? You know, if you go to town last night and just demolish some food, I'm not saying you need to be critical of yourself. I'm not saying you need to judge yourself. I'm not saying you need to make it personal. In fact, I'm going to tell you not to. But you do need to sit down and go, all right, self, what could you have done differently that would have made it where that didn't happen? Now you have the benefit of hindsight. What could you have done differently? And let's find the system change and let's make it. Now, the reason why I talk about it, I mean, look, let me do it. Yeah, I mean, many of you are podcast listeners. So let me give you the beginning of the podcast episode. I do it every time, and I'm going to do it again here because I'm trying to drill this into your head. So let's bring up the podcast music here. Same intro every time. From the headquarters of the Guild of Champions, this is the Chris Terrell Podcast, and I am your host, Chris Terrell. And welcome to another week of your weight loss quest. How did this last week go for you, champion? Looking at the past, what new challenges did you encounter? Original challenges. But more importantly, what failure did you go through, and what lesson did you get from that failure? Come on now. Don't let a perfectly good failure go by without you getting your lesson, because that's your reward for your troubles, by the way. So I say that every week. Look to your past. What new challenges did you encounter? If you didn't encounter any new challenges last week, you're not pushing enough. Well, but Chris, I need a week off. No, you don't. This is going to take a long time. So if you got a really busy week, pick an itty-bitty challenge. Itty-bitty, teeny-weeny, the little one. If you got a little more bandwidth, do a bigger challenge. But what challenges did you encounter? But more importantly, what failure did you go through? Every single week, you need to fail, and you need to be the one that created it. Every week, at least once, you need to fail. Preferably 3, 4, 5, 6 times you should fail. Every single week. I can't do that. That would make me a failure. No, it doesn't. That'd make you a winner. You know who doesn't fail? Losers. Losers never fail. You know why? Because they don't ever take any chances. They play it safe. They go take the easy way. Let me make sure I set up a gauntlet so that I can't fail and maintain my illusion that I am somehow perfect. No, winners fail, and they fail often, constantly, but they also learn to be a winner. You can't keep making the same failure. You have to keep them original. So what failure did you go through, and what lesson did you get from that failure? Going through a failure without extracting a lesson makes that failure a waste of your time. It makes it entirely unnecessary. But I assure you that every single failure that you go through has a lesson in it. The bigger, more painful the failure, the better the quality, the lesson that you can get. It's your reward for your troubles. Because a failure is a bit of a trouble. It's a bit of a hassle. It often comes with a bit of a setback. That's not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if in your mind you have told yourself a story that this failure is bad. If you tell yourself a story that this failure is bad, you won't want to look at it very much and you won't want to get your failure out of it or get your lesson out of that, because it's like every time you look at it, like, see, it's more evidence that I'm just never going to make it. This is a story that you're making up in your head. Now, the better bet would be to make up no story at all, but that's probably too tall of an ask for most of you, myself included. So if you can't just stop with the stories, make a better story. Well, no, but my favorite story is the story of woe and defeat. I mean, if you like that story, that'll become your reality. If you want to keep telling stories of your defeat in your head, if you want to keep telling stories about how you're never going to make it, if you want to keep telling stories about how you suck, if you want to keep telling all these just terrible stories about yourself, you're welcome to do it. It is your life. No one has to live with that. No one lives with your thoughts but you. You're the only one that lives with them. Now, some of you like to make sure everybody lives with your thoughts because when you have a thought, you just spit it out your mouth, right? And if somebody has a story that contradicts your story, you make sure to tell your story to them. So some of you don't actually keep your stories to yourself, okay? But no one cares about your story as much as you. Like, just know that. No one cares about your story anywhere near as much as you care about it. Now, you might have some people that care a lot, but they'll never care as much as you care. You're the one that has to live with it. And so if you fail and you tell this terrible, awful story about yourself, you won't get your lesson. But if you say failure is good, winners fail, I'm going to fail early, fail often, I'm going to fail my way forward, I'm going to fail my way to success, and failure is a sign of progress, especially when they're not repeat failures, they're new failures, and I can pull the lesson out of it. You see, every failure has a lesson. And if you turn around to that failure and you pluck out that lesson and you go, I can use this. And then you use this to prevent that failure from repeating again. That old failure now served a purpose. It was valuable. The failure helped you prevent the future failures. You don't make the same mistake. It is honestly it's a lot like playing a video game. Many of you have played video games. Sometimes you get this level 5, right? And it's just this difficult, challenging level. You just can't seem to get past it. You're just failing. You're failing. Right? And if you look, levels 1 through 4 were really challenging. You just beat your head against it. Eventually, you failed your way forward and you figured it out. You failed your way through the level of the video game. You come around the corner and this character, whatever, just blasts you. And you're like, dang it, I didn't know they were there. So you're coming around, I'm like, all right, last time there was a person around this corner. I'm going to get ready for it this time. You come around the corner, they're not there. You're like, oh, they're not there. Bam, they shoot you again from another spot. You're like, okay, so they are over there. They're just not always in the same spot. Noted. And you come back the next time. You're like, all right, now I know to come around this corner and not look at the same spot. I got to sweep the whole thing. And you come around the corner and you look and you see the person over there and you throw some rounds at them and they duck behind the thing. You're like, all right, I'm ready. And then ding, ding, ding. You look down, there's your grenade. And your character dies in the video game again. You're like, dang it, I didn't know they had nades. So you come around the corner again. You're like, all right, this time they got grenade. You know what? I ain't messing around. Before I go around that corner, let me go find myself a grenade. And you go somewhere else in the level and you find a grenade and you're like, I ain't playing around. You come around the corner, you just go chink. You throw the grenade. 3, 2, 1. You come around, got him. And you made your way there. That's how a video game works. And sometimes your weight loss journey is going to be just like this. You're going to be like, all right, I go on a business trip about twice a month. Let's see if we can make it on this first one. You make it through the first day, everything's great. And then the next day, it all falls apart. Now you have a choice. You can be like, oh, this is the sign I'm just destined to never be thin. I'm always going to be a fat, terrible person because I have no discipline. Or you could go, all right, I did that. When I was in this scenario, I acted an asshole. And I'm traveling again in 2 weeks. What can I learn from this experience to help me 2 weeks from now when I'm on this trip again. You go on the trip again, and then you mess up in an entirely different way. You don't make the same mistake, but you make a different mistake because behind that mistake was another one. You see, remember that video game? You go around, you finally take out that guy, you're like, yes. And you keep going and you're going, and then all of a sudden there's a tripwire. You didn't know it was there. You're like, dang it. So you go around, throw a grenade, take out the guy, tripwire, you knock that out, and you keep going, and then something else gets you. Dang it. Then you go back, you start over. This is what weight loss is. Life is not that, your life ain't that varied. Most of you live a life that's fairly repetitive if you look at it over a 90-day period. Some of you, sure, within a week, your days don't look exactly the same, but come on, you don't have 30 unique lunches every month. Right? You don't have 365 unique dinners in a year. There's a lot of repeat. You don't go out to eat at 365 different places more than likely. You probably go out to eat at the same few places. Maybe that few places is 25 places. It's not that big a list, though. Sure, it might take you a year to work through that list to find all new favorites, but you can do it. You got to go to that restaurant that always has gotten you and go, how do I go to Olive Garden and not ruin everything? How do I lose weight and go to Olive Garden and get Italian food? How do I do this? How do I go on a business trip and not lose my goals? How do I go to a family function and still lose weight? Yo, I got a funeral this week to go to. There's going to be food all over the place. How do I go to a funeral with food and maintain my weight? You see, there's all these different things where you got to make taking care of yourself an and. How do I do this thing and take care of my body, of my mind, of my heart? How do I take care of those things and go through what I'm about to go through? The challenge I realized for myself is whenever things got hard, I pushed myself out of the lifeboat. Oh, it's getting hard. Better jump out before it gets too hard. Let's fail on my terms. At least you didn't kill me. I got me. It's like, what? It's like as soon as you get to battle, you just take a grenade off and hang on to it. That way you go out on your own terms. Is that way I can preserve my perfect record of no one has ever gotten me. Perfectionism is a joke. If any of you ever say, well, I'm a perfectionist. No, you're not. You're not. I'm about to get really mean to the word perfectionism. I'm about to take the next couple of minutes and just talk vile towards the mindset of perfectionism. So some of you won't like this. So if you won't like what I'm about to do, you need to turn off the live stream right now because I'm about to just make the perfectionistic mindset just look horrible. I'm going to imitate it. I'm going to make fun of it. I'm going to tease it. I'm going to talk about how it's dumb. I'm going to talk about how it ruins success. I'm going to just basically poke holes in all the cognitive dissonance that people like to bring around perfectionism. And some of you, you've deeply identified. You might actually have even said in the last week, I struggle with perfectionism. I'm a perfectionist. You may not like what I'm about to do. So just know, I'm warning you. If you don't like it, you need to get off the live stream now because some people are going to think I'm mean because I am about to be mean. A person that says I'm a perfectionist is basically just saying I'm a loser. And they won't admit it. I'm a loser. I don't know how to lose. So rather than saying I'm a loser and I don't know how to win, I'm just going to say I'm a perfectionist. I can't do it unless I'm perfect. I can't do it unless I'm perfect. And of course, every time I've sat down with a person that struggles with perfectionism and I say, tell me one area of life you've been perfect in for longer than a day. You won't find it. Because if we're also looking at your sins of omission, the things you failed to do, right away, you're not a perfectionist. You see, many people like to use perfection as the reason why they weren't successful. But what it is the person's a loser. I was the loser that had to be perfect. Chasing perfection is what losers chase. Successful winners know that winning is on the other side of a mountain of failures. You see, a person that's a perfectionist wants to maintain this illusion that they are in control of everything. And so when something happens that gets the better of them, the perfectionist will concoct and twist a story that makes it where the plan was the problem and not myself. Oh, I couldn't lose weight because this plan was too difficult to do when I was traveling. Who picked the plan? You did. Therefore, it's your fault for picking the plan. Oh, I couldn't lose weight this week. My husband brought home my favorite foods to me. You're the one that failed to learn how to say no, knowing damn well he was gonna do that at some point. He's gonna do it later in life. You can't blame him every time. Perfectionism would tell you to do that, though. Perfectionism will tell you to blame everything except the actual person who is at fault, which is the person that says, I'm a perfectionist. My perfectionism stops me from struggling. No. When a person says my perfectionism stops me from moving forward, that is a person being a coward. They're being unwilling. They're unwilling to say my fear of failure and being judged by myself and others is enough to stop me from even trying. I am so terrified of looking less than to another person that I'm not even gonna try. That's what a perfectionist means when they say, I can't do it because I've just got to be perfect. No, that's not what you mean. What you mean is you can't handle feeling the sting of failure. And it's your fault because you keep bringing a toxic story to failure. You keep talking about how it's so bad that you failed. Some of you go so far as to make it personal. When you fail, you take it as a personal affront to your worth as a person. That's what a perfectionist does. I look at the perfectionist mindset with disgust. I want no part in it. I want no part in that paradigm, in that belief system, that being perfect is somehow a quality worthy of pursuing. It is not. It is not. I'll take 80% consistent for 10 years over perfection any day of the week. And here's the thing I've noticed. When I fully adopted the anti-perfectionistic mindset, I noticed my perfectionistic brothers and sisters in this world didn't like that. They didn't like it at all. And in fact, people get very defensive of their perfectionistic thing. Chris, you're being too mean. Am I? Kind of seems like the perfectionists are the mean ones, holding themselves to an unrealistic standard. And then just to add insult to injury, most people that say I'm a perfectionist that struggle with perfection, not only are they giving themselves an unrealistic standard to attain, they're making sure to set themselves up for failure because often they won't give themselves the proper tools to do it. They also won't give themselves the proper training to do it. And they'll sit there in their head and they'll just talk down about them and make themselves feel terrible and micromanage every little thing and be like, oh, you better make sure to do that before everything goes horribly wrong, lest you look like a horrible, awful idiot to everybody that loves you. I don't know what your brain says. That's what my brain said. My brain would just say just the most terrible, awful shit to me in the name of being perfect. And that is a big reason why I always struggled to lose weight and keep it off. Because this perfectionism didn't just stop at my weight loss journey. It carried into my job. It carried with my friends. It carried with my family. It carried with my home. It carried with everything. If I wasn't perfect, I was cruel to myself. I would kick myself when I was down. I would tell myself that this failure means that I'm not going to be successful because look at the other people that win. They didn't make this failure, this specific exact failure that I made. Therefore, I'm the one that's a loser. Not recognizing, not failing to see that it was me telling myself that is why I was a loser. The reason why I was a loser is because I kept telling myself to be perfect. That's why I was a loser. I was a loser. Chris Terrell before was not fun. He wasn't enjoyable. He was crippled with this need to worry about what everybody around him thought. The old Chris Terrell, most of y'all never would have known the same Chris Terrell. If I'd have met 10 different people, there'd have been 10 different Chris Terrells. Because every person I met, I'd be like, How do you want me to act so that you will like me? Let me change who I am and how I conduct myself. Let me alter my values in the name of you liking me. Because if you like me, now I can like me. But if you don't like me, maybe that means I shouldn't like me. Because what it was is I didn't have the courage to say, I would rather be alone, but be myself. I didn't have the courage to say that. I was willing to completely violate my own values, my own morals, my own goals in the name of looking perfect in another person's eyes, lest my reputation be tarnished. I took every setback deeply personal, which stressed me out to no end. I remember one time I'm in this job and I'm sitting there in the shower and I reached up and I pulled down my hand. There was a handful of hair. And this kept happening. I remember I developed this rash in my scalp. And I was losing my hair. And I go to my doctor. And we ruled out all the major stuff. And they're like, how's your stress? And I was like, it's all right. I'm doing fine. I wasn't doing fine at all. I was falling apart. I was buried under work that I didn't have. I needed resources, but I was so unwilling to go to my boss and appear less than perfect to say, hey, I need help. Like, I cannot get all this amount of work done by myself. I need an assistant. I wouldn't ask for that because that would mean I failed. I said I could do this job by myself. I said it could be done. And I didn't. I said that not understanding what I was committing to, because I committed to launching Salesforce for a company. And I was not a Salesforce admin before. And I was going to learn to become a Salesforce admin on the job. Anybody that knows what that is knows this is a big deal. And I needed help. But I didn't go to him about that. I wouldn't ask for a course that would make me learn faster. Instead, I would study relentlessly behind the scenes on my own dime because, oh no, can't ask my company to spend $1,000 for a course for me to save myself 2 months of work. No, because that might tarnish my perfect reputation that I have built up in everybody else's mind. You see, what I was always trying to do was control what other people thought of me. Let me alter how I talk. Let me alter what I say. Let me filter out stuff so that I can control your perception of me. This is how I used to be. And I was miserable. Absolutely miserable chasing perfection. And then I decided to stop chasing perfection. We're not going to get into how I did that. Just know that it ended with me deciding I'm done chasing perfection. If in fact perfection is a thing, I'm going to do the opposite of it just on principle. Just on principle. If at all anywhere perfection is touching the motive behind what it is I'm about to do, I will not do it, even if I'm fairly certain that is actually the right answer. I'm just not going to do it on principle. I'm going to say this. I say this a lot, and sometimes I think it just goes right over and they don't get it, but I keep saying this for a reason. I don't care what any of you think about me. I don't need any of you to like me. I don't need any of you to not like me. I don't need anybody on TikTok to like me. I don't need anybody on the podcast to like me. I don't need anybody in my personal life to like me. I don't need anyone to like me. In fact, I don't even care if I know you don't like me. And trust me, I have people that tell me that. I don't care. I just don't. In my regular life, I don't care what somebody thinks about me. I don't care what somebody thinks about how I spend my time. Not even my own family. I just don't care. Because the only person that matters in that of am I happy with how I'm living my life? It's me. That's it. Now, I happen to be married and I happen to love my wife very much. And it is important to me that I bring my best self to her. But not my fake self, best self. Best self to me means my most authentic self. And most authentic self means is I don't change who I am. I am me. And I've been me since she met me. And I will continue to be me. And part of me is I strive to be a version of myself that I'm proud of. That I'm proud of. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care. Because you know what? No matter what, there's always somebody that's going to not be happy with how I choose to live my life. Always. If I choose to be broke and destitute and live the life of a pauper, the other broke paupers are going to love it. But the other people are going to look at me like, I would never do that. That's a stupid life. I could go off and seek to live a wealthy, rich life, and somebody's going to look down on that. I could go seek to be an American. I could go seek to be a Canadian. I could go seek to be a European. Somebody's going to hate it. Literally, no matter what I do, there's always going to be people that hate it, that don't like it, that think it's wrong. I literally went and lost weight, and there are people that think that was wrong. Do you know there's people out there that literally they're genuine healthy at it, or their fat acceptance, like as in I watch some of their content because I like it actually because I have mad respect. There are people out there that say, no, I don't need to lose weight, and they genuinely mean it. They're truly happy. They're how they are. They're not kidding themselves. I don't know many people like that. Most of them are. You're 100% kidding yourselves. Some aren't. Cool. I respect that. You decide how you want to live and you stand by it and you be you unapologetically. And if somebody has a problem with it, you tell them to pound sand on right out of your life. When I had the courage to fail, when I had the courage to look less than in another's eyes, my life became immeasurably better. You see, the more I cared what other people think, the more unhappy I became. And the more isolated I became. But when I stopped caring what people think, the easier my life became. And weirdly, I found myself surrounded by people. And I know it can seem weird, me sitting here on the social media, because I'm supposed to be trying to create a connection with you and building a community. But I just need you to know, I need nothing from you. I don't need your adoration. I don't need your thanks. I don't need your praise. What I need for you is to believe in yourself. That's the only thing I care about. I care that you walk away from any conversation with me going, I don't know how it feels that Chris defended me to myself more than I defended me to myself. I don't know how I feel about that. Chris seemed to really take it personally when I was mean to myself. That's what I'd want to have happen. I want you to get to the other side and both of us be like, I was entirely unnecessary here. You had this. You did it all. Good job. Like, that's what I want. This isn't about me. It's never been about me. And it never will be about me. It's about you. When I mean you, I don't mean y'all. I mean you. You. I'm under no illusion. I am well aware that you are more important in your life than I'll ever be. And I don't even want to try to compete with you. I have no interest. Because you know why? I'm the most important person in somebody else's life. Mine. And you're the most important person in your life. And there's no reason for me to try to change that. No matter what you do, someone's going to dislike you for it. The easiest way to get past that is to just stop caring. Just don't care. Let it go. When you set off to lose weight, if you make the mistake of telling people about it, you're going to get comments. Well, here's one. Sure. How about this one? Someone shamed me for wanting to lose weight and said I was fat phobic. So I know, so she has a social media on TikTok. Hey, by the way, you're welcome to throw that in the chat if you'd like. So, hey, I think it's good to follow people that are losing weight. So you're welcome to share it if you'd like. Any of you, if you're sharing your journey on TikTok or social media, throw in the comment. Let each other, you can follow each other. But I've worked with some other creators before that share their journeys. And one of the things that's happened before is they talk about like when they're in the beginning and they're fat and you get all these people like, oh, this is so great. You're one of us. You know, we're all trying to lose weight together. Then the person starts like winning and they start actually stepping away from the life and they start being like, I'm so happy that I look skinnier. I didn't like how I looked before. And then they start getting people like, no. And I had this happen to me. You reach this weird place where you don't belong to the fat people anymore, but you don't belong to the skinny people either. You're like a soldier without a country. You're an imposter. I think of the terms of like new money that I heard in Hamilton. You know, where they kind of, there was a jab at him at one point. They said, you smell like new money versus, you know, if someone that has generational wealth, as if somehow that matters. But But you'll see this with weight loss, some of you, is when you seek to lose weight, you will notice those that are your success actually is offensive. The more successful you become, the more offensive your existence will be. And this is where you got a choice. Do you give a shit or do you not give a shit? When I chose to not give a shit and say, I'm going to decide what I like and I'm going to stand by it, and if nobody else likes it, fine. My life got easier. Way easier. So much easier. And I know some people might be like, Chris, if you were in my job, if you were in my situation, you wouldn't feel this way. Yeah, I would. Now. I mean, maybe not in the past. But I remember just being willing to let people leave my life. Just walk your way right out of it. You wandered in. You showed that you don't like me for who I am. You can leave. I wish you no ill will, but you are not owed a place in my life. This is the thing that really helped. No one on this planet, family, friend alike, is owed a minute of my time. There is no one that is owed anything from my time. My time is mine. I own it. Sometimes I commit it out, right? Sometimes I make commitments where I have to give up my time, but I made that commitment. And I'm allowed to undo that commitment at any point because it's my time. It's always been my time, and it always will be my time. Oh, but Chris, you always donated this time to me in the past. I ain't donating it now, but you've always done it. I'm not doing it now, but you've always done it. I feel like we're going in circles. I'm not doing it now, but you've always done it. Great. Why should I do it in the future? Because you've always done it. Great. Why should I do it in the future? You've always donated your time to this thing for me. I'm not doing that now. But I don't know what I'll do without you donating your time to me. I don't either. Sounds like a you problem. But you're so cold, callous and uncaring. Don't you care about me? I do care about you. So you should give me your time because you care about me. No. No, I don't. But I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry that you're having a hard time. That stinks. But you could help me if you gave me your time. I've committed my time to things that I want to pursue. But what about me? You hear it? Like everybody wants to just take. Your job, take. Your kids, take. Relationships with family or friends or whatever, take. Society, take. Advertising, to get your money, you got some money, society wants to take. Everybody just wants to take from you. I want to take from you. Like, I'm here to take from you. And it's up to you to be like, shink. No, I don't care, Amazon, that you showed me an advertisement. You ain't taking my money. I don't care, TV show, you showed me some movie coming out. You ain't taking my time. I don't care, family or relative or friend that's going through some crisis and you need me to give up 3 days of my life to help you get out of a mess that you made. I'm busy. This is my time. And you know what I discovered when you start protecting your time? Those that have felt like they're owed your time, owed your attention, owed you, some of them aren't going to be okay with that. Not at all. Some of them have very much loved owning you. Owning your time, owning your mental resources, owning your bandwidth. They've enjoyed getting to, at any point in time, owning you. It could be a job. It could be a friend, a client, a coworker, an employee, a neighbor, a church person, another community person in your community. But remember that family isn't a free pass. Blood isn't a free pass. If it is, it's just because you and your culture have made up this belief that you said it does, but it's just made up. Because you go to another culture, they don't have it. If it were a universal rule, we'd all have to do it. And you get to decide at any point, is this the life I want to live? The life I'm living, is this the life I picked? Or is the life that happened because I was trying to be something for everybody else? That's what I would say. All right, we're at time. Thank you for letting me go on this rant. Sometimes I just like to really just kick the shit out of perfectionism. I just like to just come in and just like stomp and step all over it, because seeking failure has made my life become the life of my dreams. It's so funny. The very thing my brain told me not to do, my brain told me to avoid failure, it was in fact that was preventing me from obtaining the highest forms of peace and happiness in my life. When I reframed failure as something to seek out and obtain and experience as often as I can, my life transformed for the better. And I have no intentions of stopping. Fail often, fail early, and fail as often as you can. But keep your failures original. Avoid the repeats. And your life's going to transform. I mean, transform. It won't happen overnight. It'll happen slowly. And when you decide that your opinion of you and your life matters than anyone else's, you will find out who your true friends are, who your true supporters are. You will find out. And some of you, that right there is going to be enough to stop you from exploring this. Because there's people in your life whose opinions of you matter to you so much, you are unwilling to find out that they actually don't support you. And that's going to be tough. I've faced that. And it was discouraging at first to find out how many people actually didn't support me, unless I was doing it on their terms. But when you say, this is my life, and I have to live with the results of my choices, and I'm going to do it on my terms, and if you don't like it, well, that's going to suck. You can leave my life. I'll respect your right to live your life however you want. I expect the same in return. And if you're unwilling to give me that, then you can pound sand and kick rocks down the street away from me. And if you don't want to do that, I got 2 feet. These boots are made for walking, and they ain't going to walk all over you. They're going to walk right on out of your life. Because my happiness, my peace, my joy is worth more to me than yours. And I don't believe that me having peace, happiness, and joy is exclusionary. I don't believe that me having it somehow robs you of your ability to have it. And if you think you need me to do something so that you can feel peace, happiness, and joy, you're missing it entirely. You're still looking outside to solve. You're still looking to change outside things to fix what's going on in here. You're still looking for other people to do things instead of you doing it. You don't need anybody else's acceptance and approval. You need yours. When you genuinely and truly accept and approve of yourself as you are right now, today, you won't need anybody else. And as long as you need somebody else, you know you do not fully accept, love yourself for as you are. You don't. And some of you might be like, well, I need to lose weight first. No, you don't. Oh, well, I might need to change this in my life first. No, you don't. Oh, well, I might need to do all these things first. No, you don't. The love, joy, and happiness you seek, you already have it. Like, it's just right at your feet. You've had it this whole time. You've never not had it. It's always been there with you. But if you don't look and you don't pick it up, you don't get to use it. I'll let you chew on that one for a little bit. Have a great week, everybody. So good to see you. Those of you in the guild, we got week 6 of our on-ramp, and we're done. 6 weeks done. I'm excited for the homework this week for everybody. Real excited. And then we're picking up with our 2-week calibration next week. If you are thinking about joining the Guild of Champions, you can join that by heading on over to theguildofchampions.com. The doors aren't open yet. They're going to be opening. You got to get your name on the wait list. If you don't get your name on the wait list, you're not going to know when it gets open. And to anybody that's a guild member and you want to get some other people doing it, let them know now's the time. Because as soon as I let this group in, I'm closing the doors again. And I will personally coach you for your first 6 weeks. You're in a separate group. I take all the new people through a little on-ramp program, and then I send you into the guild ready to go as a full-fledged guild member in good standing. Have a wonderful week, everybody. So good to see you. And I'll talk to you later. Let's see. What music do we want? Let's go with this one. I like this music. All right. See you next week. Bye.